Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another weekly analysis video um, where I go into what I'm expecting the markets to be doing for the upcoming week, beginning today on the 23rd at 6 p.m. and running until Friday, which is going to be Friday, which is going to be 28th. And I'm going to be looking at how the market's moving in terms of what I'm expecting. So before we begin, as usual, let's just pray. God, we just give you thanks for your blessings and for your goodness. I ask that you'll be anyone watching this video, may it be instrumental to them, and also may we also be successful this week as we trade. We pray. All right. So as you guys know, I am always 100% bullish based on the markets. That has not changed. I still trade um, a bullish mindset, and that helps me to be consistent as I look at markets. Now, those of you who are watching this video for the first time, um, you may not understand why I have these lines on my charts. Um, However, as you know, the blue lines represents my weekly boundaries and my green lines represents my daily boundaries. So let me just look at a clean chart, for example. This is the 1 hour chart that I have. This line here is Sunday. This represents the other Sunday. And then each of these lines here represents Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this goes up to Friday. All right. Now, as you guys know, that I mentioned to you that my analysis starts from the top down. Um, a top-down analysis, which basically starts from my monthly time frame all the way down to my 1 hour time frame. So when you look at the time frame, the monthly time frame, you'll see that the price has been coming or has been making higher lows to higher highs. All right. So let's just reset this here. So if you look at the last 2 points on the monthly time frame, you'll see that it's a higher high. Last point is a higher low. Going down to my weekly time frame, you'll see that my last 2 points that's been created are higher lows and higher highs. So that gives you an idea that the market is 100% bullish. It's continuously bullish. And any sells that the market actually creates are only temporary sells to form that um, higher low so that the all-time high can be broken again. Okay. If you look at a time frame like the month, you'll see that every single high that has been created at some point in time usually gets broken. All right. Every single high that has been created in the past has been broken. So it's only a matter of time before the market actually starts to go back in that trend to break a previous higher. All right. Now, if you look at the weekly, for example, you'll see that you have 4 weeks, 1 month of bearish activity. Now, a number of people actually get excited and say, oh, well, we're in a free fall, we're in a recession. No, we're actually not. The market is just doing a reset to form that higher low so that the all-time high can be broken again. All right. Now, the one thing that I want to actually make mention of is that even if the weekly comes down and breaks this level right here, which is about 17,231, even if it breaks this, when you go on the monthly, that's only going to be a higher low. Okay. So again, the concept is higher low to higher highs on your largest time frames. All right. Now, how does that play out? How does that play out on on my 1 hour time? Okay. So this basically plays out in the sense that, okay, each day, what I'm looking for is that I'm scanning all my time frames from my 23 hour all the way down to my 1 hour. And I'm looking for the time frame that's making the largest higher low. And then I'm taking that trade towards my next all-time high. All right. So if you look at the 23-hour, you'll notice that the low has been created. The low was created like about 2 weeks ago, on the 10th. Okay. Notice you had a period of consolidation. You had lots of lower highs created on the smaller time frames, but you still have your higher lows being created, and that actually works itself up. And now you're currently at a lower high with another period of consolidation. Now, in order to see this, you have to go down to time frames like your 1 hour and your 4 hour to actually see that level of consolidation that I just mentioned. So let's look at the 4 hour. This was the lower low. Okay, this was the last higher low point that was created on the weekly. And let me just use something here so that I can mark it, and I'll show it to you. Okay, so here we go. So I mark that point. You look at your larger time frame at recorded, and that would be on your weekly time frame. See that right there? That mark that we just created on the 4 hour, that was a lower low. When you look at that, you'll see that it only created a higher low on your weekly time frame. All right. Now, going to your 4 hour time frame, this was the point. Now you notice you're coming on a lower low right here, which is a higher low on your weekly, and you're working yourself up towards another all-time high, which is going to be all the way back up. Okay? But notice that when you came in the 4 hour, 2 days later, only made a lower high. Well, what do I do in that point? Well, I can either sit and say, well, I'm expecting it to go up to make another all-time high, or I can take my profits right here. And I take my profits right here, and then I wait for another higher. Okay? Then I get in for another buy. It comes here. Take my profits. Wait for another higher low. Do the same thing. You keep doing the same thing until the market eventually goes back and breaks that all-time high. All right. Well, let's measure. Let's say I'm trading on my 4 hour, and it doesn't matter what time frame you look at. The concept remains the same. You just have to understand where your largest higher lows are formed, and then you trade them towards your next all-time high, or you take your consolidated highs, as we see in this case, the lower highs. Now, every time when you look at the chart and you see a lower high or a higher low, that signals to you that the market is consolidating within a particular range. Okay, the market is consolidating. So you came in here at this lower. Let's just measure. You came all the way up to this point right here. That's 5,000 pips, guys. 5,000 pips. I only need 2,500 to double my account. I only need $2,500 to double my account. So at you're actually going in, and this is where you are at right here. Okay, so you take your profits and you wait. Notice it came all the way back down, but it made a higher low. So you're in profit. You have all of this profit right here. I'm not taking the sell. I'm just waiting. So it comes down, forms another higher low, and then I take another trade. Look at this. So let's measure again. Let's use our tool and let's measure again. So we go from here and we go to this point. That's 6,000 pips. Okay, take your profits and then you wait. Look at it again. Take it from your higher low all the way up. That's another 5,000 pips. This was the last trade that I took on Friday. Okay. Now, granted, I'm only showing you on the 4 hour because I actually entered that trade on my my 1 hour time frame. That was another 2,000 pips. Okay. Excuse me. So going down to your 1 hour time frame. Here we go. This is how it plays out for the week. Okay. Would have been in this trade from the previous week on Thursday. Actually came out on Monday when it actually came here. I actually took my profits here. All right. So this here was a half hour higher low. So you look at the time frame like your half hour. See, this is on Monday, right here, within this range. You're at the higher low. Okay, it made those higher highs on the smaller time frame. However, on your larger time frame, it's only going to register as lower highs or um, new highs like on the 1 hour time frame. So this year, let's use, they come here, look at a bigger time frame, like let's say the 4 hour. See that? On the 4 hour, you have a new high, right? You go up to a bigger time frame like your 11 hour, um, that would actually be a lower high because that was actually starting from here. It came down here, consolidated, pushed back up to just move the lower high just a little bit higher. But like I said, when you go on time frames like your 1 hour time frame, right, you actually see those moves actually playing out because you see more points being registered, and you're able to actually take trades on your intermediary time frames, which actually gives you more opportunity to actually scale your account. All right. So that's typically it. I mean, it's there's no magic one to it. There's, a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm crazy for not taking sales, or I'm crazy for still trying to go higher lows. Guys, it's called consistency. I consistently take my higher lows and I get out if the market consolidates and it gives me lower high points. Okay, I take my profits and I wait. Just simple as that. The problem with a lot of people is that they feel like they have to trade every single move. Because they're not trading every single move, they feel like they're not doing anything. Well, guys, look, if you only take these rows, 1, 2, 3, guess what? It's still being profit. Just take any one of these lows. Look, still being profit. Even if it retraced here and came, you're still in profit. Guess what? Notice all your lows have been forming higher. Since this point right here, all your lows have been forming higher. So the market is telling you that, guess what? It wants to actually continue going with the trend. And that's why I always said to you guys, week on, week out, you trade the trend. Even when the market is consolidating, your safest move is going to be to trade your higher lows. And once you trade your higher lows, guess what? You will always be going in the direction that the market is going naturally. Once it breaks consolidation, once it actually breaks this level, because you have been consistently taking higher lows, guess what? You will always be. So notice, past 4 weeks, the market has been selling. This is on the 1 hour. So guess what? You notice it actually hit bottom right here. It created a double bottom right here, and it has started to create higher lows again. All of here, it was creating lower highs, lower lows. Okay. However, when you look at your largest time frame, like your weekly, you'll see that all that bearish activity that happened, all that bearish activity only created a higher low. So that the largest time frame is still maintaining the higher low. And that is one of the reasons why my bias hasn't changed. Until the monthly starts to create lower highs, lower lows, and I don't see it anywhere on the monthly time frame since history. Until the monthly starts to create lower highs, lower lows, my bias is going to always be bullish. Okay. Now, a couple of things that I want to show you. My ADX line. Okay. Look at it. ADX line right here has shown me, okay, this is bullish. Okay. Once your blue line is on top, not my ADX, I'm sorry, except my moving averages. The moving averages show me right here that the market is bullish. Okay, this is my largest time frame. On my weekly, it shows me that it crossed over for bearish. Okay, and that's okay because it created that higher low. And remember, the concept is higher lows to higher highs. And in order for you to create a higher low on the market has to sell at some point in time. All right, so that's where we are. So, as I mentioned earlier in my review video this weekend, I actually took some time out. So I just took some time from my little vacation to actually do this video, to do my analysis and also my review videos for the week. Nothing much has changed. I'm still expecting the market to actually buy from the higher lows. Okay. And again, like I said, if it continues to make lower highs, I will in fact take my profit and wait. Like I did on Friday. Market ended at a lower high. I took my profit from here. This was a nice trade, like about 2,800 pips. Um, so measuring from here, 2,800 pips. Yeah, like 29. But I took it at 2,800 pips. So that was more than enough to double my account for that particular day. So now I'm just waiting. There's no need for me to, try and jump into a trade right now. It's currently at a lower high. Am I expecting it to go up? It's possible, but at the end of the day, I'm not buying from a high. I'm waiting for my higher lows in order for me to actually go in the trade. All right. So that's basically it for the week. Nothing has changed, guys. My bias is still higher lows to higher highs. In the event that the market makes a lower high, I take my profit and then wait for my next. All right. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful trading week and see you next time. God, thank you again for your blessings and for your goodness. Please meet anyone trading this week. Help us to be successful and continue to work on our consistency. We pray. Amen. All right, guys. Thanks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.